Wrong one. There it is.
Nothing is working.
All right. Hello, everybody. And we're back. Damn, they let me out of prison and I am back.
Well, that's good.
Oh,
Yes.
we're here with our second season of Paranormal Swamp Talk. I am your host. Let's see. I'm going to add her to the screen. There she is. For some reason, she's not coming in for some reason. I am your host, Howard Peter, along with host Miss Rosie Page. Whenever
we have the invisible woman named Crystal.
and whenever she decides to show up, she's here. And tonight we'll be interviewing Miss Natalie Jones, the owner of Paraflex. She is an amazing woman. She's done so much with the paranormal community. She has, I don't know, she took it one step, and I guess she's like the rock and roll lady of the paranormal. She's a rock star, I guess, of it. She has, like I said, Paraflex. She's got her hands in so many things. She's done so many things. It's hard to keep a list of everything, because if I was to sit here and tell you everything that she's done, oh goodness, we'd be here all night just saying, giving her a list of credentials. So how you doing, Miss Natalie?
I'm so great tonight, and I'm super excited to be here. When you called me and invited me on the show for the kickoff, I was pleasantly surprised and definitely very excited and humbled. So thank you for having me. And Rosie, I've met you in person. It's amazing to see you again.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
We're going to have an amazing conversation, amazing night. Yeah, so if you're watching, please share everywhere and make sure to follow the Things Network YouTube.
Thank you.
Also, and make sure you also follow. If you don't have it, subscribe to Paraflex. Amazing shows that they have on there. Really good close personal friend of mine, John Griffith II.
Yeah.
Awesome show. I can't speak enough highly about that man. But so what you been up to? I think we were talking about it earlier. It's been about a year since we actually talked to one another. So what you've been up to?
Yeah.
Besides being so busy.
So much has happened in 1 year. Time goes by just like that, doesn't it? Yeah. And so we founded and started up Paraflex Inc. actually November 10th. So we're coming up on the creation birthday here in about a week. That's very exciting. And it's myself and Patty Negri, seen on Ghost Adventures. She's known as the Good Witch of Hollywood. She's also got an incredible book. And then our other partner, Nicholas Bonanni, who owns the University Magicus, and they are partners of Paraflex as well. And we also brought on Mike Hatcher, who has an incredible original series on Paraflex called Beyond the Dimensions. He's the executive producer, and my stepdad's the CFO. So that's really cool. We're keeping it in the family. But yeah, November 10th, and leading up to that, it was a lot of preparation, and it was so cool. I've met so many incredible people across the world up to this point. We launched our soft launch March 21st. So between November and March, just meeting with production companies, distributors, so many different paranormal figures in the field. And we, like I said, we launched March 21st, and it's really hit the ground running. It's like one of those things where it's a door that opens and it's meant for you. I know, like, we have these doors in life, they open, some are meant for us and some aren't, but that's all a part of the process. But Paraflex has really just grown wings of its own. It's been beautiful to work with so many incredible people. I pinch myself every day. It's very humbling. And there's so many incredible shows, including Paranormal Puzzle with John Griffin II that you were just talking about. And there's also Katie Peak and Robin Ramsey on Paranormal Puzzle. And huge condolences to their chief science officer who passed away earlier this year, Jeremy Griffin. So we love them all dearly, as well as everyone on Paraflex. And there's, so many different types of content. We've got all the way from original to licensed film, filmmakers, different titles, different series, different short films, different feature films. So, and we have a really cool Paraflex original coming 2022 called Transubstantiation. So we're just in the small amount of time that we've been launched. In March, we did our hard launch. It came out on Roku TV. And now here in October, we brought forth the Amazon Fire and the Apple TV. So you can download the app on all of your devices, your TV, and there's so many incredible shows. We recently just brought on the Ghost Finders new season premiere, part 1 and part 2. Part 2 streaming exclusively on Paraflex. So a huge shout out to everyone from the Ghost Finders, Rob Thompson, Dan Klass, Melody, Nat, and Megan Deputy, and of course Heather Bortle and everyone else involved, Steve Dills. I could, like you said, I could just talk all night just for Paraflex alone, but there's something amazing. About 90% of our content is exclusive, so it's exciting. It's the home of the paranormal. It is an SVOD, just like Discovery Plus, Shudder, Amazon Prime. So if you haven't heard of it yet, check it out, because there's a free 3-day trial. And I believe with Amazon Fire TV, they have different policies. So with Amazon Fire, there's a free 7-day trial. But yeah, it's very exciting. And I am president and CEO. I work long days, but I don't feel like it's work, because it truly is a passion. So I definitely wake up every day very grateful to be able to do this and help others as well.
So in other words, you're president and CEO. So that means everybody in the room right here, right now, gets a free year subscription to Paraflex. I'm joking.
All right. Yeah.
Joking with it.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'd watch it. I don't even know if I can sit down and watch. I could watch 5 minutes of it at a time, I guess. I could watch it.
I don't know about that. I can watch Matt Bitton all day. I can watch Matt Bitton all day.
Yeah, everyone's so amazing. There's just so much hard work that goes into production on all levels, and on the paranormal side of things, of course, before even getting into that, is the investigating and the research side of things and all of that. So it's a whole different ball game. And, this is about really, bringing forth what's real, not being, necessarily controlled for TV, but having, this knowledge that we have to really, start to understand more and spread it with the world and help people to awaken on a global scale. So it's a universal platform, and that's why I've termed it that.
Yeah, you are giving, doing a great service for the paranormal community. Just showing it out there, showing everything out there like that, and letting people see what we actually do out there in the fields and what we do on these podcast shows. So my hat's off to you on that. Thank you for that.
Well, thank you. And a huge congratulations to all of you for your new network, Things Network. That's incredible. It's awesome.
Well,
thank you, man.
We're trying, I guess. That's Lady Crystal over there. She's the second dog in the doghouse, so she gets the second. I guess the second serving at the food bowl when it comes down to it. So
Not for
So
the next
thanks
month.
to her.
The next month,
She's done a lot of work.
I'm sitting in Natalie's seat and running the whole thing. So
Yeah.
I was
Yep,
trying
she
to
is the
guide
boss.
everybody because like half of the people's names it just says Facebook users. So I just went in on my phone and I was like, "Hey, if you guys can grant permission to use your names."
That's what I do.
It just says Facebook user, Facebook user, Facebook
That's
user.
Facebook doing that.
Who's who?
So who knew more? Yeah,
Just
I'm
call
like,
me by
"Hi."
your name. No.
All
Hi,
of you
everyone,
Facebook
too,
users.
who's joining us in the chat. Definitely share this out. We're going to have a really great conversation tonight. So
Oh yeah.
I've been looking forward to this for a couple weeks now.
I know. I was in the grocery store when you called me. I said, "Are we ready for this? Are we ready for this?" I said, "Yeah, we're ready. We're ready.
Yeah. Rock and roll.
We're gonna do all right. We're gonna do all right." Another thing I wanted to ask you about. We're gonna go back to Paraflex, but about your Paracon that you're going to be having soon.
Yeah, well, the first, it was supposed to be this past August, but it's been postponed. Mainly, well, it's a venue thing. And so, but, I believe that everything happens for a reason. And, it's, we just roll with the punches. So that's still in action. For now, all of the tickets and booths have been refunded. And those who did have one, they get lucky because they get, free access next time around. Plus, all of the talent lineup will be able to, have first pick. But with Paraflex, going back to that, of course, all of the Paraflex content producers will be there. It's just been such a busy time right now, and I've got different people who are going to be, all hands on deck with me on this one. So we're going to go ahead and probably at the beginning of next year, I'll start to get back into dates and those sorts of things. But you can go to either usparacon.com or texasparacon.com for the update. So right now it's just an update of a tentative dates, and it will not be at the same venue because I don't want history to repeat itself. So we'll probably nail that down pretty soon. I do have a really cool location that I've been talking to. That's really going to be really cool. Have a really great environment. And recently I was just out at Vulture City Paracon. A huge shout out to Jay and Marie Yates. It was incredible. Oh my gosh. And I got to, see some faces that I've met before, but also familiar with that I've never met before. But the greatest thing that I love so much about these events and these Paracons and everything, which I'm sure y'all will agree, is just meeting the different new people that come through to meet and be a part of the experience. Just that's one of my favorite parts of life in general, is just meeting new people, because I believe everything happens. Once it happens for a reason, and you cross paths with people for for a specific purpose, and that's no different. So that's one of my favorite parts, is meeting all of the beautiful souls that come through.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's fun. Then no matter what happens afterwards, it's still good if you meet good company.
Yeah, definitely.
Any ideas who you might have at your Paracon?
Like I said, it'll be the lineup that we had before. They will get first invite. So, and again, right now it's one of those things where it's the planning hasn't fully picked back up in swing. So I've got a lot of my to-do list of things that I've got to roll forward through in 2022, in addition to Paraflex. So there's going to be some pretty cool, exciting news coming out in the next few months. But once that, all the social media pages are still up and everything. Once that, once the date and the venue and everyone starts getting back into the swing of it with us, then we'll you'll see it on social media and everything. It'll be shared out. So probably in a few months or so.
Great. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah. I was pretty bummed out for the first time around. There was a lot of work that was put into that since, for a year leading up to that. So, it's not a lost cause. Like I said, with anything in life in general, I always, in my teachings and everything, I'm very, very firm on, again, like, when something happens, you look at it as an opportunity to succeed and not something that, brings you down. So, and the bigger risks you take, I guess the greater that you have to fall. But I think that's what life is about, is giving it your all, and having I'd rather have I would I wouldn't want to have any regrets. Like, you get to a certain point where you're able to just do everything that you can to follow your passion and help others and be a part of projects, and not only in work but in help, like I said, in helping others and those sorts of things. So you just kind of go where life takes you, and every day is a new surprise. Like, recently I've met some new people on my path that it's really just been, what's the word? It's just phenomenal. Like, in your heart and soul that you're meant to, meet that person. And so it's just crossing paths with new people like that, like it's a sign you're in your highest direction. Those are just small examples. So yeah.
Good. Any new books, anything out there that you've recently done?
So I wrote Awaken the Higher Self, Bringing Darkness to Light. That was published early last year in 2019 in February. I believe it came out on Valentine's Day, but yeah, it did. So that's, it's just been a whirlwind though. With it came out right around the time when quarantine really started to pick up too. So
Yeah, that's what's made everything bad.
Yeah, between then and now, I wrote the book because I the knowledge that I have, I know I'm only one person, and there's so many people that that are looking for and do need, help and knowledge. And, I know the knowledge that we have like this is meant to be used as wisdom for the greater good for all of us, because even though we are, on a micro level, we're, individuals, we really are on a macro level one universal consciousness. And so the energy that we are and that we have, it's directly connected with everybody else. We're all interconnected. Everything's energy, and what we do affects other people, not just those around us, but it has those ripple effects, right? And so I knew part of what I go into in the book is universal laws. So one of them is the law of witnesses, and I received my witness in 2 or 3 is what you'll usually get those in. And so I knew it was time to write the book, and I knew that even if it would only helped one person, that's what it was meant for. And so that's what I did. And I spent about 2 to 3 months where I didn't want it to drag on for like 9 months where I was writing the book. So I committed to this really rigorous schedule routine where I would wake up, and then I would go to yoga, and then I would sit down to write for about 2 to 3 hours. But before I would write, I would, pray and ask God and the Holy Spirit if there was anything that needed to come through before I started writing that was meant to go in the book. So there was some pretty cool, a couple of moments where it was pretty emotional writing the book as well, where I would have, a couple of moments where I guess you would call it a download, or just, like an aha moment. Information would come through that did go in the book. So, and I've had many people reach out and let me know how much the information has really transformed their life. So I'm truly grateful for that. And but it's called Awaken the Higher Self, Bringing Darkness to Light. And I'm currently working on my second book between whenever I have a little bit of time. So I'm really trying to get through that. I'd really like to be completely done with the first version this month. My publisher keeps asking me, okay, so when's this book going to be ready? But it's called The Little Secret Book of Life, and it's more of like a sequel to the first one, but it goes more into subconscious reprogramming, and more into like energy and who we are as creative beings and how to tap into those sorts of things. So more kind of like on the science of consciousness and metaphysical type of level when it comes to our our thoughts, emotions, and those sorts of things. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
Well, during the course of we're talking with you, I invite anyone who wants to ask Natalie a question just to type it in. We're not going to be getting vulgar on here tonight, people. So let's be nice. I'm just telling that to some other people. Ones that has that sick mind that fall over from the petri dish, they spill over into here sometimes. So
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah, I'm in for it. Am I in for it tomorrow night, huh?
Oh.
I have a question. You said one of the chapters was called Witness something, and I was going to write it down, but I don't remember what you said. I just wrote Witness.
Yes. So the law of witnesses. So basically, we all have our, our experiences in life, our reality profile. Those experiences kind of build that into our perception of reality. And because you have to understand, like even a single thought has millions of images just in that one single thought. It's just so quick. That's why we have this, or we're able to have this third dimensional experience because of those vibrational energies at that frequency, that rate. And we with that, again, we all have our own perception. That's why if you've ever thought like, okay, you're able to really in an experience, like put yourself outside of your own box and try to think from that other person's viewpoint and try to understand them a little bit more instead of like jumping to conclusions or judging someone just because you're not understanding something, because that's a form of fear. And when we're in fear like that, it's lower vibrational energy. And when you have those lower vibrational energies, then you have a general dark influence around you, and you're not in a place where you can really, you're operating out of those higher vibrational energies, and then you're creating more of that. So with the law of witnesses, it works in that way with the universe. They will send a message or a sign. You could call it a synchronicity. We like to put terms on things to communicate, but you get the gist is that you'll receive a message in the form of 2 or 3, that whatever you want to call that, universal consciousness, God, whatever your belief system is, that's correct for you. Then you will receive that witness in the form of 2 or 3. It's a confirmation from the divine of something that's true or right for you on your path. So for me, I got those witnesses that one day to write the book. Again, leading up to that, I knew that at some point I would. And then, when that happened, I was like, okay, it's time to write this book. Oh, here we go. But it was a really cool experience. So I do go into universal laws in the book. One universal law that I don't go into, that I will be going into in this next book, is the law of assumption. Having full faith. Where there's full faith, there's no doubt.
I know that one.
Right. So just assuming that it is done and then believing it and then letting it go. Because one of the things with us, as a society in general, with from day to day, because we are in the linear time, the perception, that there's time, is that we get impatient. And so like when you start getting impatient or wondering why it's not happening, or just getting frustrated, then you start creating those blocks to the thing that you wanted. And so therefore either it can take longer or it doesn't happen. So it's about having that assumption that it's already done, and then just letting it go, almost like you're just walking to the mailbox. You go on about your life, you go on about your work, and you have that present awareness throughout your day, like and being aware of your thoughts and your emotions. And that's really powerful too, especially if you encounter like an experience where all of a sudden, like you're in the middle of this chaotic situation and you're like, how in the heck did I get here? Like, what is going on right now? Have you heard the saying, it's like 10% of what happens to us and 90% of the way that we react? Well, for me, what I know is it's about 1% of what happens to us and 99% of the way that we respond. Because when you react, you send out waves of explosion of that any type of, emotion that's lower vibrational energy. And so that's what's going to come back. Where, like, for example, that's like a perfect example of the past repeating itself, right? So when you start to like shift that and shift your subconscious into being like fully aware, then you can maneuver around those negative energy vortexes, those people, places, and things that when they happen, you're not engaging, and then you're more disengaged from that, more in like a passive way, right? And then you can kind of get through that without being like pulled into this crazy chaotic situation where you feel like you have to go into hermit mode for 3 months after that. It's so traumatizing. Like, that kind of stuff happens in life, and we just have to be like fully aware of what's going on and do our best. And the other side of that token is to just have like compassion for other people, because everybody comes to the table at different times, and everyone's here to learn unconditional love, and everyone is here to grow, have that spiritual growth. It's like flexing your spiritual muscle. That's why we have the veil. There's different types of veils, but that's why the veil is there. If we knew it, if we already could see everything and know everything, what would be the point, right? So that's the purpose of that.
Or why would we be there even to experience anything if we already know where we're going to experience already had?
Yeah. So. And I apologize if I'm talking at like high speed. It's probably.
Oh no, you're okay. I was just laughing because I have a 5-year-old that was trying to smack me, and I was like, "No, don't smack me."
No, I just get really passionate about this because I truly want people to understand that we've got to just come to a place where we have compassion for other people, not be gossiping and not be judgmental. That's not what this is about. It's about, I found, when you can give somebody love instead of matching hate with hate, it actually helps them to turn in a different direction and become better. And that's what it should be about,
That's what I was practicing. I mean, I was preaching the same thing about a month ago. I mean, 2 lives, and they were just completely off. Just me going on live just by myself, and just that's what I was preaching about. I mean, we've got to stop fighting amongst ourselves and start working together. That's what this community is shrinking every day, and we need to, the people that are in the community now need to bond together and do something about it. I mean, we need to do something. I mean, it's gotten to the point where we're different amongst ourselves, we're fighting and everything else, and we just need to stop that and work together.
Yeah, communication really is key. It's super key. And if people would just stop and communicate, and put the ego in the back seat, we would get a lot further in life. Just in general in the world, having the ability to be compassionate. And again, I'm all about boundaries as well, because you have to have healthy boundaries in relationships as well. Because everyone is kind of, at a different place and path, and it's just like allowing people to understand and learn. And you make a mistake, we've been so programmed, like it's about punishment. Yes, I understand there's justice, and that's not what I mean. What I mean is learning from that and turning in a new direction, so that we're not repeating the same mistakes, but having like that opportunity to do so as well is important. There's a fine line, but again, it's healthy. It's very healthy to have boundaries. You have to protect your energy, and our spiritual, emotional, and mental and physical bodies, they're all interconnected. And when one is off, the other will be off. And, then we have our auric field and our etheric body, and all of our chakras. There's actually 12, but the 7 that are most well known, those are really important. So as a Reiki master, I teach that and do a lot of light work to be able to open those. They're like cone vortexes. They're actually in the front and in the back as well. When they're both open and flowing in the proper direction, it's, when you'll feel most aligned, you'll start to feel good. But also, it allows for, different people, places, things, abundance, the positive things that we all want, allows them to flow more freely. When you have blocks, then it's a block, but there's also the ability for dark energies or dark influence, lower vibrational energies to fill that void. And when all of that's present, then that's you'll get more of that in life. Our external truly is a reflection from within. So again, I'm going to go more into that in my next book, The Little Secret Book of Life. The first one was just more about universal laws, and I went into light energy and dark energy in very great detail, and just the effects of all of that, and becoming. It's really a book about awakening and becoming a being of unconditional love. So.
And you just said that just a while ago. There's a lot of big egos out there. I mean, they do, and that's the sad part. These people in this community. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I have a big ego too. I mean, I do. I mean, I think everybody does at some point or another. They have their own moderation of it.
Yeah.
But we've got to learn to control that and work together, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody out there, like I said, wants to ask questions, y'all need to ask some questions, because Natalie says she ain't never doing another one of these shows again. So, I mean.
What do you mean? What do you think? No, I'm absolutely loving this. I really am. I've been looking forward to this, especially ever since we spoke yesterday. Again, we hadn't spoken in about a year, and then we've been blessed to be able to reconnect and chit chat a bit, here and there. And I've met Crystal now, and like I said, it's awesome to see Rosie again. This is awesome.
Good people, everybody in this. I think in this network, really, I can't complain about nobody that's in this network except one person, and that's Jeremy York. I mean, that's the only one I've had to pick on. And
this guy up here.
Oh. So where is Jeremy? He wasn't able to.
He's supposed to be on tomorrow night's show, but he's taking a sabbatical. He's been working so hard to get this thing together and everything, so he just decided to take a little time off for himself, and put his feet in the pan of Epsom salt, and go to work and just get away from this paranormal stuff for a little bit. Anyway, just do some bowling and does what he does. Go back to his home world of indoor and speak with his parents up there, Mama Chewbacca and Daddy Chewbacca.
Yeah, we got to take breaks sometime. It's key. I tell you, it's crazy. I've been catching up. I didn't realize how tired I was. October Haliflix at Paraflex. So Haliflix is our annual network theme in October that celebrates, the paranormal, all things spooky that we love. And it was such. Thank you so much.
That's George Shoplin. For some reason, Facebook won't allow these people anybody to come in unless they give permission to put their names up now.
Oh yeah, I've seen that before. So, but yeah,
that's from George.
Haliflix, man, it was back to back fun. But I'll tell you, I ended up also, and then it was Samhain, and I ended up out at Haunted Hill House for a really cool event, and I didn't end up getting home until about 3-4 in the morning on Monday night after all of that October fun. And so I was, I got a few hours of sleep, but between yesterday and today, I'm going to admit, yesterday I had a 4-hour nap. Today, I think I had like a 2-hour nap. And then, you wake up and you're like trying to get with the program. So I was like, it took me like an hour to get with the program. It's why I started drinking coffee, and I'm like Miss Blabbermouth now. So hopefully I can sleep tonight. If not, I'll probably just work.
If you got 4 hours of sleep, you got 2 hours more sleep I get every night, because that's about what I get every night. Is about 2 hours of sleep.
Oh my gosh, it's something else. But yeah, no, I just love everybody in the field. It's been really neat. Like for me, over the last 10 years, like really being into, paranormal research, metaphysical science, and throughout like my own awakening and everything. But then like I really got into the field, which is a whole different ball game. About 2018, when I founded Ghost Hunter Girls, which is when I really started to meet a lot of people, and it's been quite the experience, and it's just like you said, we all just gotta focus on our work and be kind, and help each other learn, be open-minded, because we all have so much knowledge and information that if we put that together, we could go a long way. And I'm really into the science of consciousness, and I am in the doctoral program at the University of Sedona. It's self-paced, so I'm at a very slow snail's pace with it right now, but when I do get to my studies and that sort of thing, I really enjoy it. But it's a metaphysical science. I'm in the MSCD, and then ongoing with a doctoral in conscious centered living, which I might change that one at some point. I'm not sure. So who knows? It'll probably take me about 10 years at the rate I'm going with everything else. I need like maybe one or two more Natalie Joneses, but I don't think that's like an actual thing. I don't think you can actually call yourself.
You're just gonna go cloning people now, huh?
I just love to learn. Like I know a lot of us do, and like that's what we do. Is like our passion in this is very spiritually based, learning and helping others, not only just those who still have a body, but who have crossed over. And our what I do is categorize our knowledge. Is like you've got the knowledge that we know. I think I scared Rosie off. You've got the knowledge that there's more to it, so it's like a a rabbit hole. We want to continue to find answers, and then there's so off-grid stuff we don't even know that we don't even know it. It's like a speck of sand in the universe of what we really know of all of God's mysteries. So I think really consciousness and the science of consciousness has come a long way in interconnecting the spiritual side of things, or the unseen, or the unexplainable. And when, with that said, I'm really into meditation and those types of things where we can connect to spirit directly, and have that elevated heart center, because that's where like all of the information truly is. It really is all within. Our spirit is made of infinite refined intelligent matter. So we really can just find so much just by going within. But again, we were just to be really open-minded and listen and come together. I think we could really go even further, help all those scientists out there.
I got a question for you. Who is the most interesting person you've met in the paranormal field? Now listen to this. Now you have to exclude yourself. You can't say yourself.
And you can't say Howard. No, I'm just kidding.
You can't say Howard. I know I'm fascinating. I mean, I'm right now.
One who I absolutely adore. Well, you said the most interesting.
Right, the most interesting. Now, if you want to go with adore, you can say most interesting, and then you can say adore, if you want to give a list that way. But
the most interesting and the ones that I adore are Brian Murray and Rochelle Stratton. Yeah, they're incredible.
Me too. I love Rochelle. I like Rochelle. That's my spirit animal.
Yeah, and I've met George Shoplin, and he is a rock star. He's amazing. I've only been able to meet him once, so I look forward to meeting him again.
He's funny.
So yeah. What about y'all? Who's the most interesting that for you that you've met in the paranormal field?
Me, because you didn't say I couldn't exclude myself, so it's me. I'm extraordinary.
Well, isn't the rule across the board? If you implement the rule, it's got to be all the way around.
Well, you see, I was specific. See, I got
Brian and Rochelle's probably on the top of my list.
Yeah.
And Kendra and Vera, Kendall and Vera, they're pretty cool. They're nice.
Yes.
Lady Crystal.
I don't know. I gotta think about this. I like Denise and Ernie. The packs.
Yes.
I do
They are
love
cool
the packs.
too. Yeah, they're pretty cool too. They're pretty awesome.
Yeah, Denise and Ernie are awesome. I was supposed to go out and do a trip with them like about a year ago. It never worked. The weather was bad, but I think I had purchased my plane ticket. We were going to hang out with Squatch Man, but then it got rescheduled. And then when it got rescheduled, those dates, I wasn't able to go on those dates.
Yeah, I remember.
They,
I saw the conversation.
Yeah, they had a pretty cool experience. I'm ready to go out there and hang out with everyone in Squatch Man. Like that's a full experience right there.
Anybody, Kristen? You're still thinking about it?
I met part of
Met a lot of
the
people recently.
yeah, I've met a lot of people. I like Tango.
Say it.
Dave
You can say
Tango.
Howard. You can say Howard. Go ahead. Don't be shy.
Jackie. Jackie's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that poor woman. She deserves somebody to like her. She lives with me, don't she? I mean, she deserves some kind of sympathy.
Yeah.
Oh, that poor woman. I even feel bad for her. Oh. And I would have to say I would have to say George Shoplin. I mean,
It's
to
the
me,
one
the
that
man's an
said because I
inspiration.
have ego. The one that says Facebook user because I have ego. LOL. That's him. I had to look and see who it was.
Half of them aren't coming up on my thing.
I know. I was like, oh, it is. It's George. He's in there.
Got this.
Hi, George.
Yes, Josh.
We got a question.
Voluntarily removed. They came over to Things Network.
Yes. In other words, I quit and I went to Things. That's what I did. So.
He said, I met a TV paranormal celebrity that I won't mention, but they were high as a kite. So disappointing.
So this weekend, I'm headed to the History, Haunts, and Legends Paranormal Conference in Jefferson, Texas. I was really blessed to be invited by My Paranormal Experience with Nathan Weathers and Beth Huffman and Scotty Dabbs and Kara Kidd. They're awesome. They have a new film coming out this Saturday on Paraflex called My Paranormal Experience: The Gateway Between Worlds, and it premieres at 10/9 Central. So it's incredible. I've already seen it. I've started watching it twice, and so that's an exciting event. I know Nathan's going to be speaking out there, and we will be going live on Paraflex. But that event in itself, the Wraith Chasers are going to be out there too for that event, and there's a meet and greet Friday night. And I've never met Mike and Chris in person yet, so I'm looking forward to meeting them and everyone else that's going to be there as well. So I think these paranormal events, they've been in full swing. It's just such a great time. Last weekend was WarrenCon. There were so many people out there that had an incredible time. But yeah, this weekend should be a good time.
I mean, to me, the celebrities, I'm not big into the celebrities. I'm not. I mean, to me, they're just the same as what I do. It's just that they're on television. I do it because I love doing it. They doing it because they're getting paid to do it.
Yeah.
So that's the only two things that are different about it. Some of them love doing it and get paid for it, so they have their dream job. So my hat's off to them. They that's something that they actually work for.
Yeah.
But to me, they're all the same people. I work with them just like if I work with anybody.
Yeah, we're all equal for sure.
So to me, that doesn't impress me. Being a celebrity, to me, it depends. I'd like to work with quite a few, some people in the paranormal field, just to experience how they go about doing an investigation. To me, it seems like you learn. That's how you learn. That's how you advance your craft. You learn different techniques, different styles from different people, and that's what I like doing.
Definitely.
And that's the only reason why I enjoy working with so many people.
Yeah.
We did this Fear Fest thing, and I met a lot of people that I wouldn't have never met, and if I wasn't in a network or anything. But a matter of fact, we met Mustafa from A&E's Ghost Hunters and all. Nice guy, really nice guy.
Awesome too.
Yeah,
I've met him.
I've met him last December. I met him. I had the the pleasure of investigating with him. He's great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, matter of fact, I fed everybody at that freaking coffee at Fairfest, huh, Rosie? Everybody got to eat. I made chicken and sausage gumbo. Oh my Lord, them people went crazy for that.
Josh, don't get him started. Don't get him started.
I took it home with me and ate it for a week.
I know, that was some good stuff.
Everyone I know came over and ate it for a week.
No, I agree with you.
That's
like we were saying earlier. It's about, every single person that comes through and meeting everybody. And at the same time, there's a lot of respect for those who are at these events, as far as talent goes, because they work really hard and they've, really done a lot in the field as well. So again, I'm looking forward to the event for sure.
I'm looking at meeting you forward in person one day. So, I mean, you live right there in Dallas, don't you?
I know. We're at it's only about 5 hours, maybe.
It takes me about 4 or 5 hours just to get up to Shreveport.
Oh, okay.
And it's about maybe another, 2 hours, I think, to get to Dallas from Shreveport.
Yeah, that may be more of a take a flight. But
I drove up.
It's funny. Go ahead.
I drove all the way up to Kansas. That was 15 hours.
Yeah. I do like a good drive, a good long drive. I actually like driving long distances by myself too. I think it's very peaceful. Yeah.
And relaxing. It's a getaway.
Especially when you hit somebody on the road. It's pedestrian. Nobody's witnessing. It's just you. I mean, it's awesome.
Only
take
if
your
somebody frustrations
you don't like. Out. No. Yeah. You take your frustrations out.
I'm trying to see who is this other Facebook.
Yeah, but I passed through Dallas. I tell you what, that's only city I've got lost twice in Dallas. On the way up there, I got lost twice in Dallas, and on the way back, we got lost once in Dallas, just to try to get back to Louisiana. Don't ask me how, but it happened. It's just in Dallas.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, Dallas is a really big. The thing is, it's so flat, and there's no mountains, so it's really spread out. Like, for me to get to the other side of Fort Worth is almost an hour and a half, and I'm on the other side of Dallas. So between A and B on both sides, you're looking at about it without traffic.
I mean, we had to go around this big oval. I mean, it was like going around. You had to go around.
You don't like to drive there either.
And it goes around just to get to Oklahoma. And I mean, it's like, and it had a lot of road construction there too. So I hope y'all got all that taken care of.
I don't like Dallas.
Oh yeah, there's been different, construction improvements, major ones around the area. I mean, shoot, since I can remember, since I lived here in, the late 90s. So, well, it's not lost anymore. So that's good.
I like to go driving, but I mean, there's a lot of places I've seen. I've been to Tennessee, I've been to Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Georgia, North Carolina, and they're nice places to visit, but it's not home. It's not home. Now I'm making plans to go up to Indiana. I'm going to be crashing over at Crystal's house.
Oh, cool.
And I'm gonna push her out to bed, and I'm going to take her bed. And,
you get to sleep with him. That's on you, dude. We share the same brain, so it's all good. You guys might as well share
underwear. Share underwear and everything. I mean, he's got
with the green underwear he was showing us the other day.
I know I still ain't got the name brand of those. I want to see those. I want to get a pair of those. Those look comfortable.
I was just like, are we live? I hope not. Let's do this afterwards.
Nick, when Howard comes to Indiana, we're going to go up to Crown Point. Or we'll all meet up.
Oh my gosh, I'm jealous.
I love Illinois.
Chicago. He lives in Peoria.
A couple times. I'm looking forward to Vegas, December 9th through the 11th for the Vegas Perry Unity. Should be some nice new faces.
Let me ask you this. I one question for you about Vegas.
What's up?
Is Zach Baggins going to be there?
Of course, Zach Baggins is going to be there because now
then I can't make it.
Howard's food was amazing. Look at what Greg said.
I don't like Zach. I mean, I've never met the man, but it's just something about him. I don't know. It's just a feeling. I just don't. I might meet him one day, but I don't know. Right now,
Zach's amazing. Zach is
I like to
amazing.
keep
Nothing but the best things to say about Zach. So I do look forward to meeting him in person sooner than later. I have a lot of respect for him and the things that he's done. So we all just should stay in our own lane and respect our differences, right? For sure.
That's what I'm doing. That's why I'm just staying in my own little.
Howard's lane. No, Howard, you're amazing. You are.
No, I'm not.
You're awesome. Yes, you are.
No. I'm just a guy who likes to have fun doing this. This is a hobby. I enjoy it. That's what I do.
Face, Crystal. You're like,
No, because I want to know who this other Facebook user is because the team.
Oh, it says it is
Mike
Gates.
Have you guys ever investigated at the Mansfield
Reformatory?
If so, what was your best EVP? Oh, well, I was at Mansfield Reformatory in February with Beyond the Dimensions and Dan Class and you and I research, and we got quite a bit of. In fact, there's the first episode for season 1 of Beyond the Dimensions is streaming on Paraflex. Paraflex.com, Paraflix. Yeah, and it was quite the experience that night. I mean, I ended up in the solitary for like 3 different times, and we had brought out one of my favorite devices besides a digital recorder, the IDC Direct Link FX, and that's built by J.W. Prater. And he built that device for a specific reason. It's it is a type of spirit box, but it uses the energy of the human body to come through and give responses. So when you're holding it, it has echo and reverb and different bells and whistles on it. Mm-hmm. He builds them very custom, like specifically for you. Like he's so amazing. He'll spend like an hour on the phone with you just to. And so his will and his thought and his intention is in that building process for you. It's incredible. So we had that, and some really incredible responses came through. We, of course, we had the whole place to ourselves. One of the former inmates who now works there spent some really great time with us and did an interview that I was blessed to be able to, be on the sidelines to watch that. But in our preliminary tour during the day, we were up on the 3rd level, and I was walking up along, I believe it was in the north, on the north tower, and we were, I could be completely wrong. I have my directions completely flopped, so we're going to move on from that. But we were walking along the cells, and just out of nowhere, and I'm very sensitive. I went from 0 to 100, and I just started crying because all I could feel like was just like this utter complete despair of, I just want my children, my family. Like I miss them so much, and I can't even survive this one more like second. Like that's what it felt like. It was definitely a male presence. But there's just so many different layers there, and so much that's of course happened with it being, a prison and all of that. But yes, that was quite the experience. We did get a lot of activity, so that's a great question. I'd like to go back. I'd really like to go to a lot of different locations that I haven't had the opportunity yet. Ones that aren't as known too, not just the same ones that we hear about, but I'd like to really start traveling around and going to different places that aren't as well known, And
those are your best haunts too. Ones that are not as known, you just finding me off the beaten path, so to speak, in the paranormal community. And those are the best ones you can actually find. I mean, activity wise anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Gabe asked, Natalie, have you or your team ever thought in making a documentary about some haunted place here in New Orleans?
That would be really
co-founder. Cool. Gabe is my co-founder with me on Paranormal Swamp Talk and Paranormal Swamp Investigation pages.
Yeah, and hi Gabriel, it's awesome to see you. You're awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, there's so much that I'd like to do, but actually a documentary about haunted places in New Orleans, I think that would be spectacular. And y'all really know like living there a lot more than most people do. So, that's always an option for sure.
There's one place that's we're working on, so it'll be a surprise to the paranormal community once we get in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
we're working on it. We're working.
You get
I'm
in.
really curious now.
I'm on the plane and I'm heading south. I'll do it tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it's that
Oh, yeah.
groundbreaking, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
Right.
Well, congrats on that. So where is it?
New Orleans?
It's in New Orleans. There is a
Down in the
house in
border?
New Orleans.
Down in the swamp.
I'll give you a general location. Okay, it's 2 blocks past Jean Lafitte's blacksmith shop.
His shop would be amazing to investigate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 2 blocks past his shop.
When I was down there, I investigated Cafe Du Monde.
Yes, you did several
Really?
times.
Is that the place known for the beignets? Is that
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. See, I'm not completely clueless.
And I investigated Pat O'Brien's.
Oh, cool.
She did.
Yeah.
And I found some spirits there.
She did. Her and Jackie
That's
both.
shocking. That you
I ain't
found
never seen
spirits?
nobody snort up powdered sugar with a straw before, but Crystal's the first.
Oh, Greg says he's working with Jay to make a device for him. So yeah, Greg, that's an amazing experience. And tell Jay I said hello. Jay and I are good friends. I haven't spoken to him in a bit though. I should touch base and say hello, see how he's doing. I would say that's if you want to go back to one of the most interesting paranormal, J.W. Prather is definitely at the top of the list as well. Yeah.
I said, Greg, man, that man can catch anything with a voice, a spirit box. That man, he can work magic. I mean, he is amazing. So,
Yeah.
Greg, hats off to you too, brother. He is an amazing person to work with.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. When it comes to the electromagnetic fields, like that's his forte. He knows, and creating new and experiments, based on findings and evolving and all of that. That's, he's constantly working to do that. So I have a lot of respect for him.
Yeah, in fact, Greg and I think we're going to be doing some of these this, I guess, from now on is some of the lives on Saturdays, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be
cool.
co-hosting
Yeah,
each other with the lives. So it's fun. Greg's the laid back kind of mellow guy, and I'm the guy that said, "Did you see that thing running?"
Well, Greg and I have a little secret. We can't say yet, but we've got a big surprise coming up, probably here in the next week. So
I'll get married.
You'll know in about a
You
week.
getting married?
Greg, I would say it, but
We'll get it out of Greg.
Okay, if Greg wants to spill the beans, I'll give Greg the lead to spill the beans. He can tell everybody if he wants, but if not, we'll have to just wait. So
Greg, you want to spill the beans?
Howard's not going to put up with that now.
Yeah.
He's going to call him and have him on speakerphone.
No, he's not. Sorry, Greg. I don't mean to put you on the spot. I'm just kidding. No, they had a really great time this past weekend at the I can't quite possibly spit it out.
Greg and Arne, I know she met you.
The Warren Con and our Haunted Lives was there. Ryan Buell, Nick Sarlo from Shadow Hunters.
That's who I'd like to meet. I'd like to meet Ryan Buell. To me, that was one of the first shows I've ever watched besides Ghost Hunters. It was Paranormal State. And I really enjoyed him. I was unfortunate of what happened to him, all that stuff. But I hope that's all in the past with him. And seems like he's doing a lot better now. And, I still support the man. I mean, he's we all make mistakes. That's all we have to say.
Yeah, Ryan, he is amazing. Greg and Howard, I agree. And Greg and One Shin were over there this past weekend. So many different people we saw out there, but all I've heard is just that it was just a spectacular experience. There was like 2,000 plus people that came through there. So hopefully next year we can all make it out there. That would be awesome.
Well, I got one over on you then, Natalie. I got one over on you. See, One Shin, you met her. She's a nice lady and everything, right?
Yes, I got to meet her over at
I broke into a hotel room and I seen her in her night clothes. And the woman was gracious enough to invite me in for coffee.
I'd have slammed the door.
That was true.
The door.
Everybody knows it. I mean, that's Things Network pretty much. Who was at Fear Fest.
She's awesome. It was really cool to give her a hug in person and feel her energy and everything.
Oh yeah, she's a great lady.
Yeah, I'm excited to see her again and meet Greg and so many amazing people. You know, and that's what another thing, these events that brings us together to where we wouldn't have had a chance to meet each other with everything going on in our lives. And, you know, we get to meet at some of these conferences. So it's a blessing for sure.
And that is true, Greg.
Life.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I mean, they gave me the wrong room key and they gave me her room key. So I'm in there trying to get into her room. And I'm standing outside the door and I'm jamming on the card in the door and I'm forcing it. And all of a sudden she answers the door. Hi. And she's standing there in her PJs. Hi, Howard. How you doing? Come on in for some coffee. I didn't know what to say. It was embarrassing for both of us, I think. More for me because I was trying to break into the woman's room. So I felt bad. It really did feel bad for her. So, Greg, what is this big secret?
I'm going to tell you one thing. I seen some pictures. They got to
waves in Portuguese. What's that?
Waving?
What does that even mean? It's a comment from YouTube. It says waves in Portuguese.
I guess
it
must be somebody from Portuguese.
Like you're waving.
Yeah, I guess it's somebody from Portugal.
I do know that they got to see Annabelle, and I'm very, very, very jealous.
Yeah,
Rosie.
I talked to David today, and he's telling me about that. It's quite the experience with Annabelle the doll. Have any of y'all met Annabelle the doll yet?
Not yet.
No, I tried to get Anne to steal it and drop it out of the plane and she went over Indiana to go back home.
She should have.
And she told me no.
Oh, Anne, I still like you at about this much less. No. It would have been cooler if you did.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll take that doll.
No, you're not touching that doll, Howard, because I know what you'll do with it.
I don't want to know. Is that good or bad?
Gasoline.
Oh yeah, burning it. Yeah, no.
Yeah, 5 gallons.
No burning the Annabelle doll.
About a foot hole, a little bit. Just a shallow grave. Say some blessings and burn it.
Greg, you're holding her hostage for yourself? Well, crap. Now I'm going to Minnesota.
Who do you think is typing all this? This is Annabelle. That's not Greg.
That's funny.
Not even right.
So
how was it actually meeting Annabelle, Natalie?
No, I've actually not met her yet. That's why I was curious if y'all had. Yeah. But I was talking to David Taylor from Our Haunted Lives on the phone today, and he was telling me a little bit more about their experience. Because they had a full museum, haunted artifacts and all of that set up there. And Annabelle, the Conjuring mirror, was there as well. And he was telling me a little bit about what happened in their experiences. So it was pretty intense, but pretty cool to hear about that. But yeah, that's I haven't actually met Annabelle the doll in person.
That would have been awesome.
No, that's what Carl's been doing. He's been working. Carl's been working with that Conjuring house a lot. I think it's him and Missy Lease up there.
Carl Johnson?
Carl Johnson.
I love Carl.
I do too. He's a good man.
Mm-hmm.
She
Oh,
or
wow.
something
That's
contacted
cool.
Ane and I prior. Ooh,
I like when that
Interesting.
happens.
it is
I
interesting.
like it when that happens. It is interesting.
Hmm.
And
So,
creepy.
what was your most terrifying experience? Oh, let's go this route. What was your most that you captured? Your most a Class A VEVP that you've ever caught?
Yeah. So for me, there's been a few different experiences, but I always use this one as a prime example, just because it was so the way that it happened, so credible, just because of some of the other activity that went along with it. At Haunted Hill House in 2019, we were
Bam!
investigating,
Wow.
and we caught
I
the
was there.
apparition of yeah.
I
We
was
caught
there.
the
Yeah. I was waiting for you to say that. I was like reading your mind because I caught one too there. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we were at an event at Haunted Hill House last October.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a fun event. Brian and Rochelle were there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was at an investigation in December of 2019, and we had just like gotten everything set up and done a baseline and ran out to get something to eat and everything, and we came back and we were gearing up to kind of get ready to go hard for the night, and we caught on the we caught on one of the stationary cameras in the room. There was an apparition of a child that walked across. So we were trying to find something explainable, like any type of light source that could have caused it or anything. And there's not anything like that there that would have caused that. And so we replayed it. You can literally see the legs walking across. But what was even more profound was there was this blow up Spider-Man doll toy that fell over right as it was walking in front of that. Well, what you have to understand is the story behind this room, and one of the child that used to live there and stayed in that room. His name was Joshua. It's called Joshua's room. But later that night, we were up there and we were getting a tour of the upstairs, which has a little bit more of a darker feel. And there, one of the owners was giving us the tour, and he started to like get the chills and just not feel right. And then so I went into my mode. I started feeling around him, and I found a really, really intense cold spot. And I said, feel this. And everyone, could feel it. So we pulled out the recorder, and then we caught a Class A EVP from a male child that said, it hurts, I can't move. Well, that would make sense because of the way that he passed in that room. And so that was pretty, that was between the apparition and everything else leading up to that. It was quite the experience. I became very emotional as well. And yeah. So what about y'all? What's been one of your like most memorable, like an experience at one of these places that really sticks with you?
Me personally, it was with John Doherty, and we was in Mandeville Cemetery, and we were sitting we was actually got a hot spot, and we were talking about, we set up a REM pod, and we had Nell readers, and we had some S boxes. We had an S box. We had John brought something. I forgot what he actually had. That's what he actually caught it on. Mm-hmm. And the way cemeteries are in Mandeville, a lot of them are built above ground, but this one so happened to be buried, and the headstone came across this. There's like a regular headstone, but they have a wall, like a brick, a cement wall all the way around it. So we got kind of tired, and we sat down next to it, and we was asking questions. We asked the question of what was it? I'm trying to remember what was the question, but we asked the question, and all of a sudden this EVP comes across and says, because we was at this grave, and half of it was in English and half of it was like in Celtic, maybe. Some kind of Irish, possibly. But when we were sitting there and we asked the question, and all of a sudden the answer that came back was, "Get off me, tombstone." And it had an accent and everything, whatever it was.
Wow.
It says, "Get off me, tombstone." And he captured it and he played it at Fear Fest. And talk about scared the crap
Yeah, I
out of you.
remember.
Howard got up. Howard was heading to the car. I mean, I wasn't even going
Did
to
you
play
get
with
off
this
of
guy.
me, tombstone? Get
Howard
off of
jumped
it?
off of that tombstone.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible though. And so it was just clear as day.
Clear as day. Get off me, tombstone, with an accent.
That's funny.
What about you, Rosie?
I did actually catch an EVP, and I sent it to Rochelle and Brian that night at that investigation. In one of the upstairs rooms, like when you go up the stairs, if you're coming off the stairs and you go left, it's like a room facing you, and there was like a rocking chair in there and a little velvet couch.
Yeah, that's
in your
Joshua's
bathroom.
room. That's the same
That was
room.
the one I caught the EVP in, and I sent it to Brian and Rochelle the next day or whatever.
Oh wow! I never even knew about this. What
I was just thinking, I didn't send it to you. I didn't tell you.
Do you
about
remember what it said?
I can't remember, but I can dig it up and I can send it to you.
Oh yeah, dig it up and
that
send it to me.
Yeah, I'll dig it up and send it to you. And me and Rochelle were talking back and forth about what it said, and she was like, "Hang on, I got to put my kids to bed. I can't hear over all this damn noise." I was like, "Yes, I know. I have a 5-year-old." But the most weird experience I probably had, to me, that I didn't like really explain exactly to myself like what happened, but I sort of kind of did, is I went to the Fee House in Little Rock, Arkansas, and it's the only time that this has ever happened. And I'm really sensitive too, but this hasn't ever happened except at this one place. I was going into the Fee House. It was the first time ever going in there, and we went all through the tour, upstairs, downstairs, and all of the rooms, And I just felt really weird, like psycho all of a sudden, like I just wanted to hurt somebody. And I was like, man, what's going on? So I was like, I'm going to go outside and order pizza, Jason, and everybody else. So I was like, what do y'all want? And I went to order pizza, and I was on the phone with the pizza guy, and I think he was stoned because he didn't comprehend anything I said. And I was like, do you know how to make a cheese pizza? I was just being really mean to him. And I was like, do you know how to make a pepperoni pizza? Do you know how to make any kind of pizza? And he was like, yeah, I just don't know where you're at. And I was like, it's a really famous location, and I'm literally like on the same street as you, like this many blocks away from you. And he's like, but I don't know how to get there. And I was like, I can't even deal with this person. Jason, I'm going to just choke this person. Please come take the phone and finish this before I go off on this guy. And I just gave Jason the phone, and I just went, and I was like, I just need to meditate for a minute. I don't know what happened. It was weird. I just wanted to like hurt this guy on the phone.
Do you think you had a walk-in or something?
I don't know if I got I call it like being hijacked. Yeah. Like when you don't invite it and you don't welcome it and it just takes over.
Yeah, that's a walk-in.
Is that a walk-in? Okay, I call it like a hijack or
Yeah, you can call it that. Yeah, it's the same thing. Or it sounds like maybe you that because that wasn't you, right? You didn't feel like.
And I don't know, it wasn't me because then it left after that. And the rest of the night I was not there. It didn't bother me, and I found more of the story out that there was some kind of weird malevolent attic thing, spirit being, like anomaly. It wasn't really a spirit, I don't think, and that the guy that owned the place kind of really didn't want to let go of it. So it stayed there, but I didn't feel like it was good, and I think that was what affected me later on, because I felt when I went up to the attic before he even told us what was there, I just felt it again, and I got some weird SLS activity and some other activity that was weird, and we got an EVP up there too from a little child that told us to go away. So that was probably the weirdest experience I've had, because everything else I could explain to myself, but not that one, because it wasn't even like I was just walking and I was like, now I want to kill a pizza guy all of a sudden, and now I'm normal again.
Yeah. I was following along with you. I'm like, okay, we're going somewhere with this, but that's pretty wild.
It was really weird.
Did you have like a full recollection of it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been body jacked before, and I knew I wasn't me because I was thinking in third person. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like I was thinking, oh man, my back hurts and oh, my leg hurts. But I knew I wasn't me. I was somebody else in me thinking that.
Were you
So, but
Jason?
no, it was my stepdad when he passed away. The day that he passed away, literally like 45 minutes or an hour after he passed away, all of a sudden he had a really bad back and I couldn't stand up straight and my back was hurting really bad. And then my leg was jacked up and he had a prosthetic leg. Yeah. So,
How about Lady Crystal?
Natalie might be a little bit familiar with the dog whistle tests that have been run.
Okay.
John Griffith's team, they've been doing it with Jeremy. Well, we found that when you blow the dog whistle, they like to move. Spirits don't like the sound of it.
Yeah.
We were down in the basement at a location, and Jeremy blew the whistle, and I was on the steps going up. And as he blew it, it felt like somebody had pulled a fire alarm, and just a rush of spirits came at me and like knocked me into the wall and almost knocked me down the steps.
Oh my gosh. You said where was this at?
It was called the Davies House. It's in Indiana.
How long ago was this?
A year ago.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. You know, it really would like, okay, so a whistle like that, you know, you could even think about like a singing bowl or anything that would make like a high pitched sound. You know, those higher frequencies. So maybe something, you know, the lower frequency where that flashes or kind of clears, has like an irritating effect to it, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe it could have been something along those lines where it was like a reaction of some sort, the domino effect.
That's kind of what we were thinking.
Yeah, yeah. That's the first thing that comes to my mind, you know, with you know, with sound like that. It has its own specific frequency, an electromagnetic signature, so it may have whatever was there flashed, pierced it in some way, and then it had that, like it rushed maybe past like through you.
Yeah.
Or it could have had,
like it was trying to get out of the basement, and there's no other way to get out of the basement but like go up the stairs, and they're really, really, really narrow. And it just felt like everything just tried to run out of there real quick.
Well, that would be fun.
Those are two very interesting experiences, for sure. I've never had a walk-in. No, I've never.
Have you not? That was the only time
that
I know of, or that I was aware of, or that I can recollect in my whole entire life that's happened. Every other time I've been, I guess, consciously aware, and I've been, hey, you know, I welcome you to communicate, or I've said something to give them a cue that's okay. That time was just like, room, and I was, what's going on? Why am I acting like this? It was weird.
Yeah, that's wild though, and it comes out of nowhere, and you know you lose some of your physical, mental, emotional function to some degree. Again, I just, you know, understand it and know about it, but I've never actually experienced that myself, you know. So that's interesting. I've never been scratched or pushed or anything like that either. I've had sensations, but
you never had an attachment?
Have I had an attachment?
Mm-hmm.
No, not that I'm aware of. You know, as a dark energy healing facilitator, I have very in-depth knowledge of attachments and how they work and why we get attachments, and what happens. And, you know, attachments at a very deep level can, you know, become more severe. But, you know, attachments, when we go through really traumatic experiences in life, our spirit can fragment, and we have these streamers that come off of our fragments. So, you know, you have a small spirit fragmentation, or you can have large spirit fragmentation. And when, you know, your spirit is vulnerable like that, these streamers, different energies can attach onto those streamers, and though we cannot see them, they're very real. So that's where you'll find people who have it. Some people even have attachments and don't even realize it. But there's 4 different types of. You've got your general dark influence. You've got attachments. You've got possession, and then you've also got walk-ins. And those are 4 different categories. Chris Fleming even says the same thing. And so with attachments, it could be something where you don't even realize that you have it. There's different kinds. Sometimes people can come with, what you would call like a spirit attachment at birth. And so you don't even realize that it's not even a part of your own spiritual package because it's been there from the beginning. You wouldn't even know the difference. So, but yeah, with spirit fragmentation, it's a really big part of healing. Like, you cannot heal from external sources. All healing comes by the light. All healing comes from within. And a part of that healing process for some people is working through burdens and the trauma and regaining back their spirit parts that have fragmented, whether it be smaller or large fragments. So I've been through really tough things, like in my past growing up, throughout like my awakening and my healing and everything. I wouldn't say that I've experienced an actual attachment, but it's something that I'm pretty well versed in helping people with, because it can become very serious. And again, like I said, our spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical bodies are all, interconnected. So
sorry, that was my background noise.
You're fine. You're
That
fine.
was
Yeah.
my kid. Sorry.
Yeah. So, but
I had an attachment. Those are not fun. Not fun at all.
You mean like in the sense of something following you from a location?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, something's kind of sticking around, hovering around you, but not actually like attaching. But
Well, this attached to me. I mean, this woman here, I knew what it was, and she kept giving me headaches. I mean, it was like somebody driving a knife through the back of my skull. That's how bad it was. And I knew who it was, because when I first started investigating, we investigated an old cemetery, and this was out in the woods. I mean, way out in the woods, and it's called the Devil's Woodyard.
Uh-huh.
And it's in it's in Louisiana, about midways in Louisiana. It's on the Mississippi-Louisiana border. And this place is, I mean, literally out in the woods. You have to take a dirt road to get to it, but it's really nicely kept up. And the strange thing about it is that the cemetery, the plots that were in there, must have been about 100 of them, plots that were in there. And 95% of all those cemetery plots were children under 1 and under.
Oh,
and it was weird. At different times of the different years, it was just children, babies. And I came across one plot. There was a nice headstone that she had. And then she had the footstone, and it said mother. So I walked up to it, and I was being, very polite about it and everything. I said, "Hello, mother. Are you here with us?" And as soon as I said, "Hello, mother," she hit me. I mean, she came out, boom, and almost knocked me to my knees. That's how bad it was with a headache.
Oh, wow.
So I walked off, and I came back and shook the headache off. It only took like maybe 2 or 3 minutes to get rid of the headache. And I walked back to the same plot, and I said, "Okay, mother, I'm sorry if I offended you, but I was just asking to see if you was here." And Gabe just posted that. We have it on the group page. And I said, "Hello, mother. I'm sorry I offended you." And she hit me again. So this time, I mean, she hurt me, and I said, "You bitch." And when I did that, she stuck with me for 5 days.
That's your fault.
Well, I had Jennifer Lee do a thing for me, and she's a medium and psychic. I mean, this woman's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer did a reading for me, and come to find out, the only thing she wanted me to do was to help her find her baby. That's all she wanted. Now, she would have came about and done it the right, nice way, and left me an EVP or let me some kind of sign or something for me to work off of. It would have been a whole different other story. But this woman attacked me, flat out attacked me. So, look, it's Crystal. Damn, you got old, Crystal.
Crystal, you look a little bit off today.
You got old,
How you guys
Crystal.
doing?
Hi, I'm Natalie.
I have to sit in for Crystal for just a minute.
That's Tim. That's Tim. That's her
There's a
husband.
question for Natalie
Yeah.
too. A
Where
Facebook
was,
viewer said, "What would you
Oh, yeah.
say is the best?"
That's Nicola Cameron.
Yeah.
And she writes, what would you say the best way to protect yourself if you're spiritually sensitive?
Well, on a daily basis, I just highly recommend, light work, chakra balancing, and meditation. But if you're specifically going somewhere, someplace, your belief and your intention, your free will is exactly what goes a long way. That's all you need. If you express that something is not allowed, that's your spiritual free will. And so you also say that with your breath and your life force. That is your etheric field and everything, putting up that boundary. So that right there is just something that's
It didn't
very
matter.
I don't necessarily like to use the word powerful, but that would highly effective just by, saying it and leaving it at that. So yeah, that would be my suggestion. I mean, in many different types of belief systems, whether it be prayer or, anything, some sort of ritual or whatever people do, it's all about your intention and your free will.
Holy water.
So also, different energies. If you give them, if you believe in them or give them that power, then they will be able to affect you. But if you do not give them that belief, then there's nothing there. So that's it. Yeah,
Good
that's what
answer.
I would say on that.
Thank you for that.
Now, I gotta say, I just tried chakra balancing for the first time the other day.
What'd you do?
I really quite enjoyed it.
What is
No
it?
joke.
What is
I
it?
did.
You're so
Oh,
sweet.
What'd you do? Did you?
What's that? Crystal and I were at this place around here. It's kind of a place that we like to go to. It's called Hanging Rock. I posted some pictures of it on Facebook and stuff.
Oh,
And we were up on this rock ledge that sits up above a river. And we just sat down and just did a YouTube thing where it just walks you through it. And that was the first time I'd ever done like a chakra meditation. And I really enjoyed it.
huh.
I did it one time and I pulled a groin. Never did
There's
it
no
again.
stretching involved. I just sat on the ground.
Never did it again.
Because
Yeah, go ahead.
I used to like to tease Crystal all the time for doing it. I would, sit cross-legged and go like that and tease her, say, tie my shoe, tie my bow tie, that kind of thing. Like the old chants, but because I didn't understand it. But now that I understand a little bit, it was very relaxing and very therapeutic.
That's awesome.
Chrissy wants to know,
Yes,
are you
Chrissy.
talking about Salamone?
Salamone.
I'm talking about LaGrow, Indiana, right on the Wabash River.
She lives in Wabash. Chrissy does.
Yep.
She probably knows.
Salamone. What is Salamone?
Salamone is another river here.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's two reservoirs. One is the Wabash. Actually, there's three reservoirs. You have the Wabash River, the Salamone River, and the Mississinawa River. All are native named. All this land around here used to be native, and then the story of Hanging Rock goes that there was an Indian or a Native American female, and I can't remember the names, but she had two men that were fighting for her attention.
That's why they call it Hanging Rock.
So supposedly she proposed that they have a duel at the top of Hanging Rock.
Oh man.
And the truth was that she secretly only really truly loved one of them. and the one that she loved fell from the top of Hanging Rock and died.
How terrible.
And then she went up to the top.
This is a terrible love story.
I know, isn't
She said she would marry.
Horrified.
She said she would marry the brave that won the duel, and instead she threw herself off the cliff as well.
Mm.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
So the story goes that they're both still there,
Mhm.
and that they sit at the top of Hanging Rock and look over the river.
No,
It sounds
this
like
guy-
that old 50 song, doesn't it? That old 50 song's Running There, or I think that's the name of it.
It reminds me of that Where Can My Baby Be song.
Do you think that this is like a myth that's been just like told throughout the years, or is there some sort of substantial?
It could be that there is something substantial about it because all of this was once native land.
I think she's there.
All of this
The
belonged to the Miamis.
The girl's there.
The War of 1812, that took place. I mean, we're like 30 minutes away from Fort Wayne,
Mm-hmm.
and the fort at Fort Wayne is still there.
Yeah.
The original fort, you can still go and visit the original fort, but the fort was built for the War of 1812, the French and Indian War. So that took place all through here, and it's all been handed down. It's folklore, but
Chrissy says it's true.
Thank you, Chrissy.
What is the girl's
Wow, that's
name?
I don't
Does it
remember
start
how
with
to
an
pronounce
A?
it. No, it started with a
Wolves.
W.
Does it?
It's like
Walking with
Y
wolves.
Shin, Y Shu, something like I don't remember
There's
how to
somebody there
pronounce
that
it.
starts with an A? I think there is. I'm gonna have to
There
come
could
there.
be.
I'm gonna have to
I know
travel there.
there's a lot of stories about that place, but it's just some place
Yeah.
that we like to go because you can set up. You actually get up above the tree line, so you can see all the trees, especially in the fall. Now that the leaves are changing colors,
Uh-huh.
you get up there and you can just look down the river and see all the trees up and down the river as they're all changing colors, and it's quite beautiful and peaceful up there.
Sounds like it. Yeah. I love stuff like that. I love travel and, just seeing new, beautiful, like nature, seeing new, beautiful places like that. So
We're big time hikers, and
it's awesome.
I'm a big outdoor guy. I like, hunting, fishing, things like that, but it's all done with a lot of respect. And so we like to go out and do that kind of stuff all the time. We're all the time mushroom hunting and things like that. We're all the time out in nature.
See, Natalie, you wouldn't know this, but we're brothers.
Morel.
Y'all are brothers?
mushrooms?
Oh, yeah. We share the same brain. He has it one day, I'll have it the next. And when him talking about him liking hiking and loving hiking, see, I love hiking to the refrigerator and back to my recliner. That's the furthest I will hike. Okay. But him picking mushrooms, I'll pick mushrooms at Walmart, and
Walmart, yeah.
that's the
We
furthest I'll go picking mushrooms.
we normally do 2 to 3 miles through the woods.
Okay.
Oh man. Why do that and get in the car and just drive there?
Well, we get out of the car when we get there, and then we go walking through the deer paths. And I love to track, so I'll go out and track different animals.
Okay, but what is it? What is it? It's a deer path, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll let the deer have their path. I said, let them have it. I'm going to drive to where I need to go. It's the first I'm going to go with it.
It is what it is.
I'm not
I
going to do none of that.
just enjoy doing it. So
That was like that time when y'all was down here, and we brought y'all through that little area, like through this partial swamp.
yeah, see, that's the kind of stuff we love, getting out. Like right in our area, I can probably identify every type of tree that's native to Indiana. We'll go out and collect what's called a pawpaw.
Mm.
It's a fruit that grows on a tree. They call it the Indiana banana. And
Cool.
it turns yellow. It's about I don't know, maybe the size of a baseball, but a little bit elongated. And it does taste, when it's ripe, and you cook it like a plantain, but it does taste a lot like a banana.
Interesting. I did not know about this.
And we go out and collect black walnuts and berries. We have natural raspberries and blackberries that grow here. But yeah, that's enough about me.
I really want to go there.
Live out in the wilderness and survive.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, how about you, Natalie? What's your most secluded area you've ever been into? Where there's nothing. I mean, absolutely. There's no cell phone service. There's nothing. I mean, nothing. I mean, you go outside and there's no electricity. It's black out there. I mean, it's dark at nighttime. You have to basically bring your water with you.
Yeah.
Have you ever done anything like that before?
I don't know. I mean, I probably that's definitely been a rare experience for me. But I will say I did venture out into the desert when I was out in Arizona. That was pretty cool. Going because they have like different paths and stuff like that. So at night, and of course, the stars are like incredibly beautiful. Those the cacti are beautiful. Like it's the way that they're like super huge, tall. It almost looks like they have character, like they're alive, like they're just like looking at you, like looking around, going, "Okay, what's your name?" No, but for me, no. I mean, I don't usually go out into like really secluded areas like that. I don't know. The last couple of years,
one with nature. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say.
Years have been a lot of this for me. These four walls.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to think back that far, but probably
it's about time you to do that, huh?
I know.
You got everything settled.
Venture out and do something.
I know you need to get out from them four walls and explore.
Yeah. I have a little bit recently, which has been nice to get back out. So last year I had gotten out and I, after last year and with therapists and everything, I've just been really kind of in work hermit mode a lot. So it was actually really nice this past year to get out. So I went to Arizona, and then this weekend I'm headed out to Jefferson. I was in Mineral Wells, which isn't venturing off too far. I'm still in Texas, but I'm looking forward to Vegas next month. That'll be nice. I need to socialize.
Probably seeing something else anyway.
You better get ready for Vegas.
Be able to see something else besides walls anyway.
Yeah.
Lights and machines. Lots of slot machines and lots of shining lights and blinking lights.
Yeah. I do like the penny slots every once in a while. I do.
Yeah.
Me too. I like the penny slots.
I like the architecture there. You probably like a lot of the architecture in some of the casinos there. The Paris Casino, you should check it out, and the Caesar's Palace and Treasure Island.
Yeah. I was in Vegas about I don't know, it was over 10 years ago. It was probably closer to 12 years ago. And then it was at that time. I think that was really the last time I was fully in Vegas without just passing through. And that was, I believe I stayed at the Paris hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it was Planet Hollywood. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you see the ceiling though? How the ceiling changes from day to night? The skylight there?
I believe so. I believe so. There was a lot going on.
Yeah. At nighttime, it changes to day. When you're in there at night, the sky changes to day, the skylight. Yeah. And then at daytime, it changes to night.
They've added a lot of
thunderstorm. That's what I want.
Years. What's that?
Yeah, and they've changed a lot of stuff.
Did they have a thunderstorm in there? Did they have a thunderstorm?
I don't know. They're shooting stars. I saw.
Snow. Something. It might as well go all out.
It doesn't snow in Vegas, Howard.
It's cold enough at night.
Outside of it in the mountains, maybe.
But see, when I was there, I think was the last time really there was before the Haunted Museum too. So I don't. Yeah. I hope I'm able to make it over to the Haunted Museum while I'm there too.
I haven't been there either. Cool.
I'll have to see if Patty wants to go.
Well, while you're going that way, I mean, you're coming from Texas. Now, I don't know which way you're going to go, but aren't you going to go through Nevada?
Well, I'm going to fly.
You're going to fly? I mean, I would have drove. I would love to go and just to see if I can get into close to where Area 51 is, just to see it or just take pictures of it. It's something. Yeah. It's just another experience. I mean, I went to Florida and passed right through Gulf Breeze, and I was like, "Oh man, we got to stop! I got to get a picture in front of the Gulf Breeze sign, you know, and all the
I don't know
UFOs
where
and
that's
stuff like
at.
that in Florida."
The Gulf
And
Breeze. I've never been there.
you probably have, Rose. You probably passed right through it.
I've been all over Florida, but I don't know about Gulf Breeze. But
It's
there's
right
a
in the
pet cemetery
Panhandle.
there. Where's that pet cemetery? It's right outside of Vegas. There's a little pet cemetery
Yeah.
where what is the story about it? Where they buried the pets with their owners, I think, at this cemetery right outside of Vegas.
Wow. Did not know that.
Yeah, John went there.
Mm-hmm.
My dogs cause me enough trouble. I don't need them to.
Well, what if they're lost after you pass away and they want to go with you? They want to come with you.
So they can urinate me for all eternity?
They're
No,
just gonna have to find. They're just gonna have to find me. We have 2 young pups, so they're
kind of like in Egypt.
They're constantly annoying me.
My dog barks a lot. I mean, a lot. And
what kind of dog you have?
I love him. I love him so much. But he's just out of control sometimes. He's a purebred English setter. So that's the reason he's a bird dog. And my backyard is pretty big, but he's like made this dirt track because he'll run in circles, like perfect circles.
How funny.
Like for hours, like you in the summer or like spring or like, you know, like right now, I mean, he'll go out there and if it's been raining, like forget about it. There will be like mud all over the house. I have to be really careful. So, but he loves to run outside and hunt, like even flies in the house. Hurts hunting flies, butterflies, like anything that flies, he's on it. But he thinks that he like, you know, something's there, but it's not. And so he just starts barking. And so I tell him to stop barking. Stop barking. And he knows what stop barking means. Sometimes I'll just have to just make him come in the house because he wants it. But he's cute. His name's Shiner. He just turned 5 on October 26th. And so he's a cutie. But yeah, he's a purebred English setter. Oh, I see your one of your little babies there.
Yeah, he's part mini dachshund, part mini pin, and part Chihuahua. He's a mutt.
Cute. Whatever it
got
is.
A lot of parts to him.
Cutie pie.
Yep.
It's like
he's a little cuddle bug.
Frankie Weenie have a lot of parts.
He's the youngest. He's the youngest pup we have. He's not even 6 months old yet.
Aw, that's really sweet. Yeah, I loved snuggling with Shiner when he was a baby, but now he's too big.
I was snuggling with a pit bull, an American blue pit. That doesn't work. They take everything. And we have like 5 or 6 dogs, and they all think they're lap dogs, and they go everywhere. With the smallest one we have is a Jack Russell. We have a pug. We got a Beagle Basset Hound mix. We have a Border Collie.
Oh wow!
And we have a regular black pit bull and an American blue pit.
Oh wow! I wasn't expecting all this. That's pretty cool.
Fur babies.
Yeah,
he's got a couple of pigs. He's got chickens.
Got a couple pigs. Got chickens. Yep. I'm a farmer.
Hey, Pamela.
I grew up helping raise cattle out of my uncle's place, so
I'd eat them. I wouldn't raise them. I help you eat them.
He raised Black Angus cattle.
That's good meat too. I mean, that's what I used to do when a few years ago. Used to go to Folsom, go to the dairies up in Folsom, Louisiana, and get the fresh milk, and they would turn them in these big vats, and they would stop them, and the guy said, "You want some cream?" I said, "Yeah, I'd like to have a gallon of cream," and the cream rises above the milk, and you just scoop you up some cream right off the top like that. You get fresh cream that way, and then they'll turn it on, and they'll turn it up, and it's milk. I said, "Look at that!
Love to use some of that.
Milk.
You can make soap and shaving cream and stuff out of that too.
Oh, you drink that in your coffee.
And butters.
Put that in your coffee.
Be like mad scientist with that cream.
Whenever you come down, Rosie, we'll go get you some cream.
Yeah.
We used to take fresh cream and put salt in it and put it in a container and you shake it. Make shake butter.
Yes, and it turns into butter. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Takes forever, but it
Good stuff.
you gotta have 2 or 3 people to keep passing off and keep shaking it. But yeah, we
You put it in the blender,
Cool.
food processor on low.
no.
Well, there's
just
like
make
a machine that
shake
you take that takes stuff and it shakes it too. I don't remember what if it's for canning or something, but you could.
Mhm.
You put them in one of them cans that they shake the paint in. You know what I'm talking about? You go to the paint. Yeah. That thing is,
You could use that. You could totally use
Yeah.
that. I'm sure.
We just did it by hand.
see, we're all over the
Natalie, you
place
had
with
no
this,
idea you were
Natalie.
going to learn how to make butter, did you?
No, and this is coming to somebody that's not. I mean, let's just say cooking's not my strength. So I'm really taking all this in. I'm like, this is cool.
Us big guys, we gotta eat. We gotta
I know how to cook too. I'll make somebody
You
a
sound
good
like
wife
you
one
need
day.
to have a cream experience and make homemade butter. That's what you sound like, Natalie.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll make somebody a good wife one day. I know how to cook. I do know how to cook.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he
I
does.
made brownies
Everybody
today.
everybody here, Rosie's ate my gumbo. I think
Yeah.
Jim's eating my gumbo. I mean, everybody's eating my chicken and sausage. Oh, they love it. I think. You know,
Yeah.
they might say it sucks behind my back, but to my face, they tell me they love it.
It's pretty good.
It was good gumbo. And jambalaya. I had your jambalaya too. It was pretty good too.
Y'all are making me like super hungry.
Don't eat donuts.
Seriously, it sounds so good. I love the food in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
We do have good food.
Yeah.
I mean, some people just cook jambalaya and they put some sausage in it, and that's it. No, you got to put ham. You got to put ham, sausage. What else you put in that thing?
These are the simple pleasures of life right here. I'm all about it.
Food.
Crawfish. You should put crawfish in everything.
I don't know how, Natalie, because I've seen pictures. I've looked at your profile, and I've seen you are like this thin. I mean, you're like a beanpole. You need you need to get sandwich in you or something. You need to eat a sandwich.
That's so funny.
You need to eat some vegetables.
I'm really big on intermittent fasting. It's just actually very healthy for you.
Yeah.
It's very good for your health on many different levels. One of the side effects is it's like weight loss, but I'm very good at eating, but I have like a really healthy regimen with my intermittent fasting, and I like to eat a lot of healthy foods and like clean foods. Plus I do yoga. But you know what? I mean, I could probably use a couple of cheeseburgers or something. You never know.
I'll make you a mean cheese. I mean, I can make you some.
I need to come and visit. You could, feed me all of this amazing food.
Some po' boy sandwiches. She needs some of them. What are they? Steak?
Po' boys, beignets, more coffee.
Ask Crystal when she comes back about po' boys. She said, "You say po' boys, I'm coming over there. I'm gonna beat you." That poor woman. We're talking about the po' boys, the roast beef po' boys, and all that. Y'all had. I think I got y'all one of y'all a French fry po' boy. No, y'all both had roast beef. I think.
Roast beef, French fry po' boys.
Ooh, so it's like French fries on the sandwich type.
Yeah, what they do is they take the French fries and they put it just like a regular po' boy, and then they take the debris from the roast beef, and they just pour it all the gravy all over it, and it's got big chunks. It's almost like a roast beef sandwich in itself, and the potatoes just absorb that juices in there and the bread and everything.
That sounds so good. So you have to like eat it right away, otherwise it loses its luster.
Actually, you can warm it back up in the microwave if you got to, but it tastes better when it's warm, when it's first made. But
nice.
They were good.
Yeah, I love different like types of food in like depending on where you are that you can't find anywhere else. Like, well, like for example, up in what is it? I'm having a block here. Up in Montreal, for example, like they have what I think it's called like poutine or something. It's like the fries with the different type of like cheese and gravy all over it.
That is
Like I have never
good.
seen that anywhere else. Or when I was up there,
Uh-huh.
when I
That's good.
like way back in the day, when I was in high school, I made a trip up there. It's the only time I've been to Canada. I really want to go back. But I tried that when I was up there, and that's always stuck with me. And like I love traveling. Like that's a big part of why I love to travel is the food that you find in all of these
Yeah.
like different places where you can't find it anywhere else. It's like
And
hitting
the pounds
jackpot
that you
again.
find, the little
Yeah.
pounds that you gain.
Well,
Mhm.
Rosie
Even
and
when
I are
you're
both.
skinny.
Yeah.
Rosie and I are both sailors.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
I don't know all the
cool. I didn't know
I don't know
that.
all the places she's been, but I've been all through the Southeast Asian area
Aw.
along that route around the Indian
Great.
Ocean and stuff. And
Mine's Mediterranean for me and European.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we've gotten to try some different foods from some different places.
They actually put French fries in the gyros in Greece. They put the French fries in their gyro and wrap it up, and you eat it with the French
Like
fries
it's
in
the
it.
real deal.
Yeah, they don't do
gyro.
that here, but they do that there. Yeah.
They're very serious.
I was trying to link like European, Greek, French, Cajun. I wonder what the French fry thing is. I was like,
Yeah, I've tried food from all over, like the Southeast Asian world, and some of it you're like, oh my God, that's so good, and some of it you're like, oh my God, that's so hot. But
Mhm.
yeah, when it comes to that stuff, I've always loved. Whenever I travel now, I still love to get away from the tourist traps. Like if I go to Vegas, I get off the strip. I
Yeah.
want to get out into the little local places, go to little local shops. That's like our favorite thing to do. Although, like Crystal and I's favorite place on earth is a small tourist trap here in Indiana. There's a little town called Nashville, Indiana, and it's in the middle of Brown County State Park. And the
Oh, yeah.
whole little town is nothing but shops. But it's all like homemade jams, it's real country, real like down to earth. And all the
Right.
people, they have a rock and gym shop there that Crystal loves to go to.
That's why I like
Where?
going to the festivals here in Louisiana. I mean, you go up there in Washington Parish, and they actually make real, right there in front of you, real cane sugar syrup. Cane, they can actually granulate it for you. You can actually buy the pure cane sugar that you put on that, just to buy at the grocery store, but this is actually homemade right there in front of you. Also, you can get cracklings, homemade cracklings there, right there in front of you. Everything's made in front of you. Kettle popcorn and all that other homemade pork skin. They make the pork skin itself. So it's real good, stuff that us Southerners like to clog arteries with. We die at the age of like 30 eating that stuff. But yeah, we love that stuff.
No, I agree. I love that. I love that kind of stuff too. Like having it actually made in front of you, it like adds to the experience. So yeah, for sure.
It's really good food. Well, let's get back. Because we got about 5 more minutes, and I want to get back to you about Paraflex.
Okay.
And how can people find Paraflex? I know you said it earlier. Since we got maybe some new people in the room, how can you find Paraflex, and where can we find it? And the first 50 people get free subscriptions. No.
Also, the new movie
that.
that you said was coming out, or the new documentary that's coming out. Will you say that again too?
Yes, I absolutely will. Thank you. Yeah, Paraflex is the new streaming service dedicated to the paranormal, supernatural, UFO, extraterrestrial, thriller. There's some spiritual genres on there, a lot of different, even music videos. There's nothing out there like this. So it's amazing. We're super excited for everybody to be able to download the app and stream it, which is now on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, Roku TV. You can find it on the Google Play Store, the Apple Store, and it is an SVOD streaming service, just like Discovery Plus, Amazon Prime, Shudder, all of those. So there's a lot of different content to look at, to choose from. About 90% of it is exclusive. We have a new documentary coming out this weekend on Saturday called My Paranormal Experience: The Gateway Between Worlds, and it airs at 10/9 Central, so definitely check it out. We have now have The Ghost Finders on Paraflex. Their new season 11 premiere, part 1 and part 2 at Sweet Spring Sanitarium is on there. There's just a ton of amazing shows and series and titles on there, so you really should check it out yourself. And another Paraflex original series that's on there right now is Beyond the Dimensions. We have an incredible series from a Native American group called Unearthing the Supernatural. They've been on Ghost Adventures. They filmed with Unidentified on Peacock, and there's some amazing series, like I said, short films, there's horror, the list goes on. So again, you can go to paraflix.com, paraflix.com, subscribe there. You can take advantage of the amazing code off your annual subscription that's on the website. And then you can download all of the apps and just log in from there. So yeah, there's a free 3-day trial. And I believe if you subscribe through Amazon Fire, they have a different policy. So it's a 7-day free trial with Amazon Fire TV. And so that's Paraflex in a nutshell. And I appreciate it. Like, we're really excited. There's a lot of just really great buzz around the platform. It's nothing but positivity and a lot of hard work. And again, there's nothing out there like this. So it's exciting. The home of the paranormal.
Awesome.
Chrissy.
Yeah.
We appreciate it very much, Miss Natalie, for you coming on tonight.
Thank you for having me.
I hope it wasn't too bad on you.
I loved the time with everybody.
Teeth, huh?
It was the highlight of my day and my week. Thank you again for having me on. It was really
Oh,
great.
now you're being nice. Now that's
I'm
too
serious.
nice.
I really enjoyed it. It was nice to just hang out and talk, and get to know everybody more. So, and Tim, it was amazing to meet you. This was a pleasant, unexpected surprise.
Yeah, unfortunately, with our weather here, everybody's health has been kind of on a yo-yo.
Wow.
So unfortunately, Crystal wasn't feeling too well, so she wanted to duck out, and I told her I'd step in.
Well,
And they
tell
have
her
two women, actually.
said goodbye, and I'll see her next time.
Yeah,
Yep,
Crystal, matter of fact, Crystal, Rosie, Eileen Jones, and my fiance Jackie, they all have a show that comes on Sundays, correct, Rosie?
Yes.
And it's called Hey Boo. It's all women. They talk about the women in paranormal. They talk about the men in the paranormal. They talk really about the men in the paranormal. I mean, everything. I mean,
I told them they
it's
should have
good.
called it Paranormal Women with Booze or Wine, either which way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They take, how
It's
they,
funny.
they take the man's
Sounds like a
wallet.
fun time. Sounds like a fun time. Yeah.
It's a fun show to watch. I mean, if you ever get a chance to watch that, it's really a fun show. They need to promote it a little bit more, I think. But yeah. But I want everybody who's watching tonight to also tune in for tomorrow night at 7 Central. Miss Natalie Jones will be joining us on the Petri dish. Now, tonight was pretty timid and laid back for us. And if you're familiar with the Petri dish, it's going to be
Wild.
all I got to say. Yeah, it's going to be
Say
wild.
your blessings and your night prayers right now. Pray tomorrow again, Natalie.
Oh, you know what? I just got a notification on my calendar. I have a conflict at that time tomorrow night.
I think she's being serious.
Like- So
Oh, we'll
I
stalk
can't
you.
tell if she's joking
Come
or not.
find you. We'll come find. We know. We just go to Dallas and we'll find you. We'll pile into your house and we'll do the interview there.
yeah. No, we'll be good. It'll be PG.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Natalie rated.
Natalie rated. We're trying to make it Natalie rated. That's right. So, with that being said, thank y'all for watching tonight. And this is like I said, this is our start of our second season with Paranormal Swamp Talk, and hopefully y'all come back. We're gonna have a lot of great guests in the future. Some are going to be controversial, some not so controversial. We'll just have to figure it out. That's where we got to go with it. So, with that being said, good night and God bless.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, everybody else, for tuning in. Good night.
Bye.